So it's no secret, if you watch this channel for any amount of time, I suffer from serious gas issues as far as camera gear and stuff like that goes. And I thought I would go back through my order history through B&H and Amazon and Best Buy and kind of check out my order history the other day. And it's pretty surprising. So I thought it might be an interesting video to kind of go through that with you as I walk around this beautiful lake right here. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through my order history and see what all kind of crap I bought this year and if I actually like it or not. First, we'll start off with microphones and audio solutions. First, I had the DJI Mic 2, and when I got that one, I just really didn't like the sound of it when it first came out. So I returned that one and got the Rode Wireless Pro, and that's what I've used pretty much all year. I also picked up the ECM1 microphone from Sony, and it's been a good one as well. The DJI Mic Mini, and that's what I'm using today, and also a lavalier mic from DJI. So that's my audio solutions for the year. As far as backpack goes, I picked up the Shimoda Urban Explorer 30, and that's been a really good backpack when I would carry a larger load, but I kind of wanted to adjust that one just a little bit. It carried too much stuff for me at sometimes. So I got the small camera unit to go with it as well. That's made it a really good backpack. I've also picked up this Nomadic Luma backpack, and that's what I use more on a day-to-day basis. It just seems to fit my needs. It's not as bulky. Just to carry on a day-to-day basis more than the Urban Explorer. I also bought the Timba Messenger bag, and that's been a pretty good bag for me. I bought it primarily to use at the football game, so I could just set all my stuff down and work out of that one bag, and it's been good for that. I don't use it just a whole lot other than those particular scenarios. And the only other bag that I picked up this year was the Brevity Jumper. And to be honest with you, I've done two videos about that bag. I just really didn't like it in the end. So I pretty much retired it to backpack purgatory. So that's the backpacks I picked up this year. They're all pretty good in their own way, but I like the Nomadic one and the Shimoda one. That's my two favorite ones I picked up this year. So the lenses that I bought this year are the Sigma 16-28 and the Sigma 28-70. And I bought both of those before I went to Orlando. Didn't really get along with either one of them. I just thought that it was leaving a little bit to be desired. Yes, they were great image quality, but in the end, I kind of just wanted to stick with Sony as far as those lenses go. So I returned both those lenses and picked up the 16-35 and the 24-70 f2.8 from Sony. Been more than happy with those lenses. Also, for my barn setting, I picked up an APS-C lens, the Sirius Sniper 23 1.2. I wish I wouldn't have bought that lens, to be honest with you. It's a fine lens, but the focal length just didn't work out for me. Where I film my videos in my garage, it's too close to me to use that lens. So I have to wind up using like a 16 millimeter or a 10 to 20 millimeter in the barn. I don't ever really have a need for the 23, even though it is a nice lens. I mean, it could be a little bit better, but it's not bad for how much I paid for it. I picked up the Sigma 85 1.4 to do senior portraits for my daughter. I wound up using it also on the football field. Man, that lens is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I wish I had the need to use it more. As it stands, I haven't used it just a ton, but every time I've taken a picture with it, I'm just kind of gobsmacked when I use it. Some of the lenses I kind of went along with my Panasonic phase. I went through there for a little bit. I bought the Panasonic 18-40, returned it with my Panasonic S9, which I'll get to in a minute. Also picked up the Panasonic 50-1.8 with that combo, returned it, and also the Sigma 24 2.0. And I returned it as well with my Panasonic S9. And I will say that out of all those lenses, I didn't use the 50-1.8 not even one time. I sent it back before I even got it out of the box. But the Sigma 24 2.0 lens is just a beautiful lens. But that's all the lenses I picked up this year. I ain't lying, there's a blue heron sitting right there on a stump. He can obviously see me, but he hasn't moved yet. That's why I got this Sony RX100 Mark 7, so I just had it in my pocket. I mean, it's awesome. How cool is that? It didn't fly off. I got a whole bunch of pictures and video of it. Freaking bonkers. Maybe we can talk about cameras just for a little bit. I'm kind of in this weird limbo as far as my cameras go. Like I want to be, I'm kind of part way in between APS-C and full frame. Like I really want to use full frame because I think full frame is better. I enjoy shooting with full frame more. But do I really need full frame? And the answer to that is probably no. So I keep kind of looking at the APS-C world and thinking, well, I need to be in APS-C world. You know, I'm kind of stuck in between, and that's kind of what it looks like as far as my camera purchases for this year go. So the first camera that I bought was FX30. I bought that early in the year, and my reason behind that is because I wanted a camera that I could just sit out in my barn and just go out there when I wanted to and take a video whenever I wanted to without transporting a bunch of stuff back and forth, a bunch of gear back and forth from the house and the barn. And that's what I've done with that camera primarily. Every video that you see in my barn is probably taken on the FX30 more than likely. And I enjoy using that camera. It is set up so nice for video. Love it. The other camera I bought this year was I bought back the ZVE1. I sold it a while back. Thought this year I might need it to take some video at the football games, and to me there's no other video camera that can beat the ZVE1. I mean, the FX30, A7S3, yes, but they are significantly more expensive, and I thought this one fit the bill, and it was great for that. You know, the dynamic active stabilization was just perfect, and I could zoom in a little bit, so on and so forth. I mean, it was just perfect for that scenario. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of falling back in love with the ZVE1. It's a really great camera. That's what I'm using out today. And now we'll talk about some other cameras I bought this year and what I think about them. But this year's been a weird year for me as far as action cameras go. I don't use action cameras, and I figured out that I really don't use action cameras just a whole lot, even though I bought 3 different ones this year for whatever reason. I guess I had an excuse to buy each and every one of them. I think maybe some of them I bought just on impulse, or some of them YouTubers must have got me. The 3 action cameras that I bought this year was the DJI Action 4. I just don't use it just a whole lot, to be honest with you. I'm super stoked that it hooks up to my DJI wireless microphones. That's nice, but to be honest, I rarely use or have a need to use action cameras. If anything, I just use the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which I didn't buy this year, but it was on the very, very tail end of last year. But I use that quite a bit, but I just don't really use the action camera just a whole lot. Another one I bought this year, Insta360 Go 3S. And it's pretty cool, you know, you can take out the little module, stick it places, and you can use the back screen as a monitor. That's all pretty cool, and the sound is pretty good on it. The microphone is pretty decent, as long as it's not too windy. It might be too windy today, but we'll see about that. But all in all, it's a pretty good action camera as well. I enjoy it, but again, I just don't use it as much as I thought I would. But it is a pretty good one. It is a pretty good one. So I also bought the Insta360 X4 this year. Obviously, it's a fun camera to use, and that's why I bought it. It is super fun camera to use. You can reframe whatever you want. You can take all kinds of 360 video. It's awesome. It's awesome. The only thing that I just really don't like about it is that I just don't think that the video quality is that good. I just don't like using it. I just don't think the video quality is where it needs to be. Maybe that has something to do with the way I use it. Maybe I'm not using it correctly. I don't know, but for whatever reason, when I get it back into the editing software, I just don't like the look that it gives. And there is a time and place for it. Like, you know, you see a lot of mountain bikers using them, and people snowboarding and doing activities like that. But honestly, I don't do stuff like that. So I really haven't found just a good use for it in my daily life. And I just don't use it as much as I thought I would, primarily because I just don't like the video quality on it. Checking my list, I also bought the Fuji X-T32, and in my opinion, if you're going to be a photographer, you should have a Fujifilm camera to mess around with. The autofocus is terrible. If you're trying to take pictures of people, it just can't keep up. There's a lot of different things wrong with it. But if I just want to take it out for a slow, photo walk type of thing, it's a perfect camera for that. It's super small, and I put the 27mm lens on there, and it's really great for that. Film cameras in there, which I kind of forgot about until just now. I had the Olympus OM1 film camera and a Olympus point and shoot film camera, and those have been fun to use. I'm not just a huge fan of waiting around on the film to develop, but they have a time and place for everything. I also ordered the Fuji X-T50, but sending it back, I just didn't think there was any need to have a camera. I ordered the Leica Deluxe 8 because I thought, I kind of want to get into the Leica system. Maybe I want to check that out. But once I figured out it was going to be like 2, 3, 6 months, a year, whatever, I don't have time to wait for stuff like that, or I would lose interest in it before it came in. So I canceled that, and like I was saying before, the Lumix S9, I returned that. It just wasn't the camera for me in the end. And the only other camera that I bought this year is the RX100 Mark VII, which is right here. Absolutely, I just wanted one camera when I go traveling, photo and video, all in one camera. I didn't want to take Osmo Pocket 3 and like a small camera or this or that or whatever. I just wanted one camera to do it all. And this is the solution that I came up with, and the one I'm most comfortable with. And as you can see today, when I was just walking around here, I'm glad I had it. I was creating some great photos and videos out of it, and just had it in my pocket, thankfully, because I needed it. I needed that 200 reach when I needed it. So it's been a great camera to add in my bag. Do I use it every day, all day? No. But it's in there now, and it's not going anywhere. I guess the race is kind of on to as how quickly I want to lose one of these DJI Mic Minis. They are so small. If I dropped them in a place like this, they would be gone. So I'm constantly checking to make sure I have both of them. Also, I forgot to mention one other camera. I bought the DJI Mini 4 Pro drone. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of use out of that thing, but for the most part, it's been like really cold, really windy, and I just hadn't been able to take it up just a whole lot. But I've had my run-in with drones before. Bought drones, let drones sit on a shelf, and they didn't move. I didn't use them. Hopefully this one didn't turn out like that, but I bought it too. I'm ashamed to admit it, but hopefully I'll get some good fun out of it. So one time I was checking out a YouTube video of my buddy Devious Monkey, and he had 2 different microphones going on at the same time. And I was like, well, what is he doing? Why would somebody have 2 microphones going on at the same time? Well, here I am. Got one hooked to my 360 camera and one hooked to my main camera here. I guess that's just a life, huh? Hope my buddy's doing better out there in YouTube land. Anyway, just to kind of finish up this video, about all the crap that I bought this year. Kind of want to go over some of the peripheral stuff that I bought. It's quite a list, so we might be here for just a minute, but bear with. We have a Polar Pro Helix variable ND filter. Super expensive, and they are heavy as all get out, but they're nice. If you've watched any of my other videos in the past, I bought a whole strobe lighting kit with lights and C-stands and light stands and softboxes and umbrellas and all that stuff to shoot sports photos, and I hope to be able to use that stuff going forward in that kind of field. I talked about starting a photography business, and I still may, but every time I get just to the name, like what am I going to call it, that's just kind of where it ends. So I have to come up with a name, and I think I can go forward from there. That's just the hard part of it. I don't want an Adam Hosmeyer photography. That's not what I want. I want something else. I have rolls of film, leather camera straps, a Polar Pro short stash filter, which is sweet. F38, I have backpack clips and clips for your tripod. Everything I use is F38 now. But the only thing I really don't like about it is I cannot screw those plates into my camera tight enough. They always come loose, and it drives me absolutely crazy. I bought cages for almost every camera I have now has a cage. I found that I just like that way better than not having a cage. I bought magic arms with the magic claw so I can put stuff in my barn and hang stuff from weird places. I have blue streak filter, which I use for some of the football games. It was kind of neat because I could when I was taking photos of the girls on the sidelines, I could have these blue streaks coming across the pictures, and it was pretty neat. I probably won't ever use that again, to be honest with you. Ulanzi smoke machine, I've shown you that. It's awesome. I have a Zhiyun light. I've showed you that. That thing is awesome. If you want a highly portable light, I definitely recommend that one. Viltrox field monitor, still up in the air with that one. It's nice, but how much do I actually use it? Not just a whole lot, to be honest with you. It's just kind of a pain to rig up. By the time I get done rigging it up, I'm just ready to move on. I have a small Godox flash, a tether cable, and a tether block for tethering my camera to my iPad when I'm taking portraits and stuff. And then the Aperture LED smart light bulb. Also, the last thing is I bought this tree root tripod from Ulanzi. It's probably the best tripod I've ever used. The weird thing about it is I keep it in my truck and I film most everything in the barn. So I don't use it just a whole lot unless I'm out in the field. But it is out in the field the best tripod that I've ever used. It's so stable and easy to use. Absolutely love it. I think that's about it. I'm sure there's a ton of other stuff, but who knows? That's all I can think of for now. And the last thing that I forgot to add in there is I ordered the Viltrox 28 4.5 lens. And that's an awesome little lens if you just want a super small lens to put on like your A7CR or A7C2. Is it the best lens in the world? No, it is not, but it's fun to use and you get some pretty cool pictures out of it. And you just feel like you're toting around and point and shoot in the end. So that's pretty much it for all the gear that I got this year. Looking back, it was way too much stuff. I mean, way too much stuff. I wish I could say that I'm going to pare down all my gear this year and sell a bunch of crap. I don't know that I'm going to, but hopefully I can just stay where I am and not pick anything else up, because to be honest with you, I got everything I need to create. I can have everything I need to create whatever kind of video that I want. So anyway, that's about it for today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know about the gear. Is your gear list that long? That's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be honest with you. When I started going through it, I was like, holy moly, that's a lot of stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.